Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. Today we have another tool video, something a little bit different for you, not the usual tool videos, ratchet videos, but something pretty interesting. I was at one of these kind of antique slash I don't know, swap meet type of structures. I don't know. It's like a store, big store, and they have like little cubbies with like different, I guess, vendors and they have just stuff laid out. And there's some tools there, not too much. And I went there and I found this vise, and I picked it up and I was looking at it, and it felt like good quality. It felt like a good quality, but I couldn't see any maker's mark or manufacturer on it when I first got it. It was like, it had a good amount of paint on it. You can see there's still some paint, some like gold paint or something. And I took most of it off. First of all, it was kind of rusty, and I dropped it in vinegar for like, I don't know, 24 hours. Dropped it in vinegar to get some of the rust on it, and I brushed it with a wire brush, and I took most of the paint off of it. And then that's when I discovered the maker. I don't know, you might not be able to see it too well, but right here it says Stanley, and it has an SW and a heart, which I see a lot of people calling that a sweetheart. I don't know why, but I guess it makes sense. SW inside of a heart. It says made in USA, and number 744. So it's model 744, and it says US. You can't really see it. It says US Pat, and instead of the number, they give the date. Is the first, I guess, January 28th. 1908 was the patent for this vise. But when I first picked it up, like I said, I could tell it was decent quality. It wasn't like most of the vices you see, like little vices you see nowadays. They're made in China, and they're not, I don't know, they don't seem like they're made too well. This one has a little anvil on it. And the jaws were pretty well matched, and when you tighten them up, they were pretty straight, and that's what gave it away that it was a pretty decent vise. There are no separating, no jaws you can take off, that are screwed on. This is all one piece. It's all cast in one piece. I think this is iron cast. I could be wrong, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a pretty good little vise. I think the jaws are 2 inches and a half or a quarter. I know that Stanley, if you look up this vise in the catalogs, they have this vise listed from the mid-20s all the way to the 50s, and 744 was like an in-between. They had 740s, early 40s, all the way to 750 something, and each one kind of went up by half an inch or a quarter of an inch. So they had one that was 1.5 inches. They had one that was 2 inches, and then one that was 2.5, and one that was 3, and that's how the numbers progress from 744, and then like the 7, like for example 745 would be the 2.5, and then the 746 would be the 3 inch. So this one kind of fell in the middle of the whole range, but yeah, I think it's pretty neat. And it, like you see, like on some of the small ones, they have like the screw, the big screw, and then you see like a little a little pin that holds it straight. Here it has this big piece here that keeps it straight, and it's pretty sturdy. Okay, I kind of took this one apart also. It's pretty simple. You just unscrew the jaws all the way to the end. And then it has the main bolt inside the movable jaw here, and it's held by a pin, which I already knocked out most of the way just to save time. So you just knock out the pin there. That's what the pin looks like. And this comes out. And here's the main bolt. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's decent quality. Oh, it's full of oil. Let me dry it off a little bit. Yeah, that's why when I was looking at this, I was like, this is pretty good. It's not like those little cheapy ones you find, those little cheap Vises that they make now, which, I don't know, they're not done very well. But this one was pretty well done. Okay, and that's the inside of the movable jaw. It's pretty thick, the metal here. That's where it has the Stanley name. And then on this, it has the screw on the table screw, so you can screw this on the table, and it has like a little cup to you know, distribute the torque along the table, so the screw won't damage the table that much. And this also has a piece here, the female threaded piece for the main bolt of the vise, and that's also removable. And it has a small pin here. I knocked it out most of the way, and this pin goes up, and this is all flat here, and this pin goes up and it blocks that piece from coming out, which I'm just going to take out here. And this is what the piece looks like. And on some Vises there'll be a screw instead of the pin blocking the front of this piece. So if you find other Vises, you probably see something like that, but this one just has a pressed pin that you hit up, and it goes and it sticks up and blocks this piece from falling out. And this is what it looks like inside. I tried to brush it out the best I could to get most of the corrosion out. I think a lot of the red you're seeing is paint. It was probably some kind of brown or red, and then they put, later on, maybe years later, they put this gold paint on it. So to put this together, you just take your threaded piece here, and you put it in with this flat side here going towards the back, and this kind of protruding part, that one stays up front. So like that. and then you knock the pin back up to hold it in place. I'm not going to do that right now. And you take your bolt and you make sure this holding piece here is inside this cutout like that, and you take your little pin and you drop that in and you knock it in place and pin it a little bit. It should hold. And now you just screw the jaw back on. And that should be it. Okay, so that's my review and teardown, I guess, of this small Stanley portable vise from could be anywhere from the 20s to the 50s. So I don't know, hope you found this interesting. Alright guys, till next time.